The UN Security Council has unveiled a tough new North Korea sanctions resolution to pressure the regime on all fronts, via land, sea, and air. North Korean restaurants overseas are seeing a big drop in customers since a KBS report revealed that they serve as a source of foreign cash for the regime. And creative products created by small and mid-sized Korean firms are drawing global attention at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, February 26th. I'm Luke Clary. The UN Security Council has unveiled its latest North Korea sanctions resolution. The measures include mandatory inspection of all cargo going in and out of North Korea. The resolution, aimed at practically blockading the entire country, could be adopted as early as Sunday.
The latest UN Security Council resolution on North Korea seeks to pressure the regime on all fronts via land, sea, and air. First, the sanctions require mandatory inspection of all cargo going in and out of North Korea. The key here is all cargo. Until now, only those suspected of carrying weapons of mass destruction were inspected. The new set of sanctions is close to a maritime blockade. The North's mineral exports, such as of coal and iron ore, a main source of the country's income, will also be restricted. Such restrictions on mineral trade is also a first. The supply of aircraft and rocket fuel will also be banned. The ban on weapons exports will also be strengthened. 12 North Korean agencies and 17 individuals linked to nuclear development will also be sanctioned. The UN Security Council earlier convened a plenary meeting at 4 a.m. Friday Korea time and unveiled the final draft resolution agreed to by the United States and China. Council member states will now report the draft resolution to their respective governments and begin to review the content. The resolution is expected to be adopted as early as Sunday and by Monday at the latest.
Following the United States and China's agreement on the resolution draft, it has become more likely for the United Nations Security Council to pass a set of much tougher sanctions against North Korea. The latest UN resolution against North Korea is expected to hurt the regime's exchanges and trade with the outside world.
The UN Security Council's sanctions resolution against North Korea focuses on completely blocking transaction of goods that can be used for the North's nuclear weapon and missile development. The first measure to be considered is halting the supply of fuel for aircraft. China previously stopped fuel supply once when North Korea conducted its third nuclear test. The measure placed significant pressure on Pyongyang, even limiting the North Korean Air Force's training. North Korea's air routes will essentially be closed down if the latest sanctions plan includes such comprehensive measures as forbidding North Korean planes suspected of carrying banned goods from passing through the airspace of UN member nations. Sea routes will be greatly restricted as well if all ships coming in and out of North Korea are required to have their cargo inspected. Following Japan's example, the South Korean government may bar ships that had docked in the north from stopping at domestic ports. This measure would effectively shut down all of North Korea's sea trade. Sanctions against North Korea that block air and sea routes are projected to be powerful enough measures to completely isolate the North Korean regime from the international community.
North Korea has launched a large-scale inspection on its workers dispatched to the Middle East. Amid international moves to impose tougher sanctions on North Korea, the inspection is viewed as the North's intent to tighten control over its overseas workers, who provide much-needed foreign cash to the regime.
Some 9,000 North Korean laborers work in the Middle East to earn revenue for the communist regime. An inspection team from the North State Security Department has begun a major probe on these workers starting in Kuwait and including Qatar. Aimed at tightening control over the workers, the inspections are believed to target any possession of South Korean media material such as TV dramas. North Korean workers who have contacted outside figures will also be looked into. Unlike past years, inspectors are known to have increased in number and include guidance officials of the ruling Workers' Party. It's believed that during these visits from Pyongyang, on-site supervisors of North Korean workers typically hand over tens of thousands of dollars to the North Korean inspectors. The money usually comes from labor exploitation or bootleg liquor trade. Media outlets in the Middle East have also reported the dispatch of North Korean inspectors amid global sanctions being imposed on Pyongyang. Reports also highlight the situation of North Korean workers serving as a source of foreign cash revenue for the North's leadership. The inspection on overseas workers comes ahead of the Workers' Party convention scheduled in May.
North Korean restaurants overseas are seeing a big drop in the number of customers. Their South Korean customers have stopped coming since a KBS report revealed that North Korean restaurants serve as a source of foreign cash for the Kim Jong-un regime.
This North Korean restaurant is located in downtown Beijing, China. Only 12 people went into the restaurant during the lunch hour between noon and 1 in the afternoon. There are more than 100 seats in the establishment, but only 7 are occupied by diners. This stands in stark contrast to a month ago when the restaurant was packed with customers. The restaurant's management is naturally thinking about downsizing.
이제 한 4일 정도 더 시작하니까 2층에 성공사해드립니다.
South Korean expats and resident employees have stopped frequenting North Korean restaurants ever since the South Korean Foreign Affairs Ministry suggested that South Korean nationals refrain from visiting them. The situation is the same for this North Korean restaurant in Cambodia, which was first covered by a KBS team. Jam-packed with tour buses only a few weeks ago, the restaurant's parking lot now stands almost empty.
한국의 방송에 나온 이후로 지금 사람이 많이 줄어들었습니다. 거의 지금 손님이 없는 걸로 알고 있습니다.
North Korean restaurants overseas have channeled money to the Kim Jong-un regime. Their management will become even more difficult once the UN Security Council sanctions against the North go into effect.
Creative products created by small and mid-sized Korean firms are drawing global attention at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. We take you there now.
This ordinary smartphone case is nothing but ordinary. It changes into an electric taser for self-defense. It only takes a quick fingerprint identification and pressing of a button to unleash 35,000 volts of electricity. If you download an app, the phone will automatically alert the police in an emergency situation. This product, manufactured by a small Korean company of only 5 employees, will soon hit the U.S. market.
자동 신고가 된다는 그런 장점이 있기 때문에 여성과 아동, 장애인들, 많은 사회적 약자들에게 많이 필요로 하는 것 같습니다.
This watch is the world's first ever Braille Smartwatch for the blind. 30 tiny pins embedded in the watch constantly move about to deliver various information. Connected with a smartphone, the user can also check text messages and all kinds of information, such as weather and traffic, using the watch. The world-renowned tenor, Andrea Bocelli, who is visually impaired, is the first customer in the world to make a reservation for the Braille watch. This device, also showcased at the Mobile World Congress, creates words by tracing the movement of the eye without having to type through a keyboard. Korean firms taking part in this year's Mobile World Congress are a great example that if armed with ideas, even a small enterprise can make it in the global market.
Korean dairy farmers are distressed as dairy imports surge. But one farm has found a way to boost its income by running an interactive cheese-making program and selling its own cheese brand.
This dairy farm raises 300 milk cows. It's time to milk the cattle, but no human workers are needed. That's because a robotic milking machine does all the work. The freshly squeezed milk is sent to a cheese factory. All-natural cheese made with fresh milk and no additives contains milk nutrients enriched by a factor of 10.
맛이 진하고 그리고 수입산 치즈에 비해서 숙성치가 덜하기 때문에 국내 소비자들의 입맛에 더 맞다고 볼 수 있습니다.
An interactive program is another source of income. Roughly 10,000 visitors come to this farm annually. They make pizzas with cheese produced right at the farm.
새로운 거 알 수 있고 추억이 생겨서 좋아해요.
The dairy farm's yearly income has increased by about 20% thanks to its milk and cheese production and tour program. Roughly 70 dairy farms have chosen to make processed dairy products. This new farm operation method may be a way to make use of surplus milk from overproduction and underconsumption.
A service that enables people to earn points by taking care of the elderly and use their points later in their twilight years to receive care or to donate them is gaining popularity recently. Take a look.
Once a week, Cho Byung-hwan and his wife visit the house of an 86-year-old woman who lives alone. They clean her bedding and make her bed. While Cho's wife is cleaning the rooms, Cho examines the boiler to check if it works well. After finishing their work, the couple chats with the elderly woman. By keeping her company, this couple helps the elderly woman forget about her loneliness.
그 시간은 즐겁지요. 내 속에 있는 말도 얘기를 하고 나면 좀 속도 시원한 것 같고.
People who take care of seniors can earn points provided by the National Council on Social Welfare. 1 point is provided for each hour of service. Volunteers can use their points later when they become elderly to receive care or donate them to others. Volunteer services of young people helping the elderly is expected to create a virtuous cycle of senior care.
The name of the genius composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart is often associated with the name of another great composer, Antonio Salieri. Some suggest that Salieri slandered Mozart, while others claim that the two composers were musical partners. But whatever the case may be, several musicals about the two great composers have premiered recently. Here's more from the world of culture.
Court composer Antonio Salieri descends into a jealous rage as he gazes upon Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This musical sheds light on the life and music of Salieri, whose talent was overshadowed by the work of a genius. The musical Amadeus, featuring dynamic rock music, is also about Mozart. The extravagant costumes and choreography of the original French cast mesmerized the audience. The winners of Russia's International Tchaikovsky Competition, one of the world's top 3 music competitions, will participate in the Pyeongchang Winter Music Festival. They include many up-and-coming musicians, such as the first prize winner Aryun Batar Ganbatar, a baritone who grew up in Mongolia where classical music is not widespread. Other rising stars at the festival include Lucas DeBarg, who placed 4th in the piano category. DeBarg learned to play the piano on his own by watching YouTube and did not receive proper training until he was 20.
What does a great weekend mean for you? Going out for fun activities or lounging around at home? One option is visiting outlets that provide fun and practical experiences. Let's take a look. Coffee has now become an irreplaceable pleasure for many Koreans. Now there is an outlet devoted to coffee. Let's check it out.
커피 한 잔이 나오기까지의 모든 과정이 담겨 있는 곳이라고 생각하시면 되시고요. 온도, 그리고 다양한 추출 기구 이런 부분들을 직접 눈으로 보실 수 있고 느끼실 수 있는 곳이라고 생각을 들고요.
People can purchase coffee-related products at reasonable prices. Available at the outlet are over 1,000 items, from coffee beans, brewing machines, and coffee mugs to assorted syrups and spices.
되게 싼데 이거?
The outlet also offers 17 best-selling coffee beans, which include Brazilian, Kenyan, and Colombian varieties. A coffee expert carefully adjusts the heat and temperature to roast the raw beans so that the properties unique to each bean type can be fully exposed.
요거 핸드 드립용으로 좀 내려주시겠어요? 네.
Such carefully tended beans can be ground to the desired level to be taken home or brewed on site to enjoy. Also, customers can join a one-day barista program for a certain fee. Our next destination is an outlet specializing in nail care products. This nail specialty store sells domestic and imported brands at affordable prices, attracting nail art fans and nail care specialists. Let's see how reasonable the prices are as we follow this shopper. She chose 4 of the hottest selling gel nail polishes and 11 essential items for decorating her nails. The total came to about $52 US. She even got an extra nail polish as part of a promotional event.
한 달에 한 번씩 할인 행사를 진행하고 있습니다. 뿐만 아니라 목공 행사와 증정 행사를 통해서 좀 더 저렴한 가격으로 제공해 드릴 수 있도록 노력하고 있습니다.
How about spending this weekend visiting one of these outlets for an interesting and sensible shopping experience? And now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.